Alright, hello everyone, and now welcome to another game between Moon and Lin, this time here on Ancient Isle. Over here on the top left-hand side of the map, we have Moon spawning as the blue Night Elf player. Over here on the bottom right, we have the red Orc Lin. This is, not part of any sort of best-of-3 matchup, so I don't know who the winner is going to be. Just because this is labeled Game 1 and Game 2 today, don't think too much about it. Barracks, Altar of Storms, Orc Burrow, not necessarily in that order being placed down. I'm going to go ahead and switch the colors a little bit just so I can keep track of a Blade Master if it is in fact going to be a Blade Master. Now, one thing I really did want to say, or I wanted to say was, what was it? The whole entire point of my hoodie, there's a saying in Chinese where you're putting gold on your face, and pretty much I had thought to myself, and my wife convinced me, and I thought she made a good point that, hold on a second, Alexa, stop. She made a good point in that. That me getting a hoodie when I was the only person in the world with my own hoodie would be like putting gold on your face, right? It's just like, hey, what's the real point of it? Not like you're self-promoting, you're really not that big of a deal. And that's the reason why I had set the quota to be like, yeah, you know what, if more people buy my hoodie, then I will go ahead and buy one for myself as well, you know, for memory's sake and whatnot. If you guys want to check that out, go ahead and head off over there to the merchant store. I believe there's a link in the description. Also, I do hope to be doing more live casting, at least on Twitch, not still from replays, unfortunately, as we are going to be looking now at a Farseer again. So it is going to be a Farseer going up against another Keeper of the Grove. Interesting that we are looking at such unorthodox heroes, and more unorthodox is the fact that the Keeper of the Grove actually went for Ents first. So Ents were actually the primary unit coming out of this, as the Keeper of the Grove will get almost to level 2, gonna go ahead and pick up a Ring of Protection, but the Keeper of the Grove with Ents first, I do not remember the last time I saw a game like that. Alright, Spirit Wolves are going to try and make their way through. Spirit Wolves are going to have a rather difficult time trying to get inside this base or really doing any damage. You can see all of the Wisp are actually tactically positioned to be very difficult to get to. Alright, that Wisp already down to half life though. Let's see if it's going to go ahead and get away. It's going to go ahead and jump inside there. Meanwhile, you're going to see the Keeper of the Grove now trying to fight back, as the Farseer may try and do a little bit, a little bit of a range attack. Wisp, there's the detonation. Level 2 now on that Keeper of the Grove, as new wolves are being brought back out. Alright, are we going to see perhaps an entangle? Yes, an entangle onto that one grunt, and poor grunt now going to be taking a good bit of damage there. Alright, Spirit Wolves now want to back off that Keeper of the Grove. I believe he actually launched a second entangle, and there goes another grunt right there. Moon quickly taking down a grunt, getting up to already 2.5. Meanwhile, the Farseer is barely on the board with any experience. Is this going to be the new meta? Keeper of the Grove first? Well, perhaps maybe for Moon, as Moon is a rather unorthodox player, as we're now looking at, Spirit Wolves, Grunt, and Farseer are now trying to make their way in. Alright, you can take a look. This Spirit, or this one Wisp, able to perhaps slip on by. Where is it going to go? It is just going to buy some precious time trying to get away. And where can it really go from that Farseer? That is the big question right there, as damage is still getting added up. Meanwhile, Keeper of the Grove coming across the middle. Is it going to perhaps try and get another entangle onto a grunt? Finds exactly that grunt right there. Archers are going to be showing up as well. And this Keeper of the Grove with 3 archers should be able to finish off this grunt here without a problem. 2 quick entangles finishes that off, as the Farseer tries to chase away. The Keeper of the Grove does have boots of speed and will be able to get all of that precious mana back. Nearly, getting closer to level 3, not nearly there, as we are looking at a lone grunt over here at this tavern. Grunt now making its way off to the north. Farseer still sitting at level 1, does have Dust of Appearance, sold the Scroll of Town Portal, as poor Archer is going to go ahead and then just end up walking into a trap. Archers are now coming back on the other side. You can see Naga Sea-Witch, very fast tech to tier 2. And the amount of ranged heroes, this is not something you normally would expect coming from an Orc player. 2 ranged heroes, and this is at pretty much the 5-minute mark in the game. Keeper of the Grove is going to be able to perhaps entangle that grunt there, get some more damage. The archers are off over here as well. Damage trying to be added. You can take a look. That grunt is still right there. The Keeper of the Grove really wants to get as much mana as possible, or excuse me, get as much experience as possible to get to level 3 before it tries to really fight back here. Farseer going to go ahead and try and engage here. Dust of Appearance on the archers though, so the archers are not going to be able to Shadow Meld. More Wisp are being trained as well as the archers are just trying to hide. And it looks like they will be able to not do that any longer as the Dust of Appearance is used once more. Keeper of the Grove, Moon in desperate trouble, now trying to get away. Farseer doing a lot of harassment. Archers are going to go ahead and Shadow Meld inside the base and make it, well, impossible to try and finish off the units. What's going on? Dust of Appearance, oh, still on here as the Naga Sea-Witch was taken down. Naga Sea-Witch taken down. Keeper of the Grove now sitting at level 3. Spirit Wolves, oh, there's an entangle. That grunt no longer able to attack, and the Quill Beast with all of that piercing damage is just going to continue to add up more and more. All right, Keeper of the Grove, what's happening here? Spirit Wolves most likely going to end up getting taken down here as the Farseer and the Grunt are stuck inside. They have nowhere to run, no scroll of Town Portal, as the Keeper of the Grove could try and focus down that one Grunt inside. All right, Keeper of the Grove, Quill Beast, all of a sudden everything is going to go ahead and engage. Keeper of the Grove could try and get an entangle off onto that Grunt right there. Grunt could get taken down. That one low hit point Archer does get taken down, but at the cost of a Grunt, and well, things are just going from bad to worse. Archer going to go ahead and hold position right there. Shadow Meld, Farseer going to get taken down. There it goes. Beautifully played by Moon, getting the Beastmaster from the tavern, bringing it back. The Beastmaster and any summon-based hero adds a sudden burst of damage to the army with those Quill Beasts, and with enough, well, shutdown in the Keeper of the Grove and those entangles, things are looking up. However, there is the follow-up play. Raiders are now showing up to the party. They may be able to perhaps deal enough damage here. Naga Sea-Witch also coming in from behind. It looks really like Lin does have a 7 supply advantage, but you got to remember that 5 of that supply is currently wrapped up in a resurrecting hero. Entangle onto the Raider. Raider currently, well, out of the fight, gonna go ahead and get taken down. Keeper of the Grove, as long as it has 75 mana, it can continue to shut down many of those units. Going after the Naga Sea-Witch instead, a little bit of a curious call right there, and it looks like it is gonna be enough. Keeper of the Grove does have enough damage to get the final shot off there. All right, Peons now joining in on the fight. No Spirit Link, not quite sure what's going to be happening here, as the Huntresses are trying to keep their distance away from the Raiders and their siege attack. Keeper of the Grove down to 41 mana. Doesn't have very much. Could end up getting taken down. Scroll of Town Portal could try and keep him alive. Peons are joining in on the fight. No Moonstone whatsoever, as the Keeper of the Grove is going to be forced to try and hide. Detonation onto some more of those units. It looks as though that Huntress will get taken down. 37 to 26 supply. That low hit point Keeper of the Grove down to 88 hit points, still able to get away. All these units are trying to, well, run every which corner, as the Farseer somehow breaks free from a 6-unit surround, but the Dryads with that slow poison, and I believe that will pretty much be the game. The Dryad now dancing in front of that Farseer. Farseer getting slowed down, and there is the game. Moon taking this game from Lin. Interesting opening strategies, but Moon with amazing micro in that matchup. Good building placement, trapping multiple units inside, and, well, the Farseer selling that Scroll of Town Portal early for some other items ended up being the death of him. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.